against ESC Gaming, and recently ESC Gaming. Correct me if I'm wrong. They took the IEM Grand Finals, right?
They did, facing Navi in the finals. I think it was 2-1. So that's their second IEM title. I also won it the first time actually. This was 2006, the very first IEM, and now IEM 6 they managed to win as well. And we cannot be quite sure yet whether we're going to see a IEM 7 including CS 1.6. We don't really know which FPS title they will have, so maybe they're going to be the one with a lot of history in IEM, obviously winning the first one and ending it off, finishing off winning the last one.
Now, one of the things that's funny is so I've been out of the Counter-Strike scene for probably about 2-3 years. I've got back into gaming last year during the 2011 where I was casting some Call of Duty Black Ops. I had to find a groove somewhere, and especially in the American scene with Counter-Strike not being as predominant as it used to be, I had to find a groove somewhere. But one of the things that I did notice in watching ESC play in the IEM Grand Finals, especially during the group stages, they looked like they were collected and ready to play, and compared to the rest of the teams whenever we actually hopped on with Jimmy Wisenhunt, and we were casting some of the early group stages of those matches, and one of the things I realized is ESC Gaming was ready to go and set up for the tournament. And at that point right there, Karn, I know it's kind of I can get the praise and glory now because I've already seen how the tournament played out, but really in that group stage I had told many people, I was like, ESC's got this one, just because they're calm, cool, and collected, and their confidence level was just above, and they were making the shots that count.
Yeah, but bear in mind like how ESC got into IM6. They didn't qualify the normal way. They eventually had to play for like the final invitation ticket against a couple other European teams. So they lost all the qualifiers. They didn't go to the stops. But one way or another, they managed to squeeze themselves into the finals. But it's kind of it's not common for them to play good in the group stage. I've seen them like facing elimination in so many group stage, and only to come back in the playoffs and winning the entire tournament. And that has kind of been the significant sign for them that, yeah, they're not really good in group stage, but this time they were good in group stage and also won the playoffs. But one of very few times, I would say.
So one of the things, I mean, while I think we're about to be going another way, about to get live here with this matchup. I haven't had the opportunity to really sit down and talk to you, but with you retiring, how does that made an impact on making this transition into and not just the casting, but more the business side of gaming?
Actually, since I moved to London in 2010, I have been kind of part-time working for Fnatic besides playing for them. And that's basically player management, working with sponsors, media, all of that, business development. And that kind of obviously took a little bit of focus away from the actual gaming for me, and it's one of the reasons maybe that my in-game skill myself didn't hold that level I would like to. So I took the decision now, obviously 2012, to step down, focusing full time on the business, helping out my team as much as possible, and seeing the world of gaming from a new pair of eyes, so to speak.
Yeah, no, it's one of the things. See, I've always, from the get-go, I've been working in the production side and always kind of looked at it. So right now we're about to get the knife round underway to figure out who starts on what side. Real quick little roster rundown there for ESC. We've got 742, Pasha, Cuban, as well as Lord and Neo. And right off the start, you've got E2G going to pick up at least one, but Neo and Lord, this is just kind of determining who starts on what side. Now, in the variations between time periods, I've seen DE Train converge from being a terror-sided map to a CT-sided map. Where are we at in this current day and age?
I agree and disagree, but mostly it's a CT-based map. The pistol round is so favorable in the CTs, having long distances.
Right.
But we have a few teams that are really confident playing T. One of them is probably the Poles here. We have SK Gaming. Robin just recently in an interview said that we don't really care which we're starting at, and that's obviously a good sign that you have a great T side. But when things start to pick up at CT, winning the first pistol round and closing down the low buy, then you are set to get at least 10 rounds, and obviously that's a favorable side.
Alright, so as we get ready here let's go and take a look here at the overview. You can see they've got one guy heading there towards the outside. You can get a quick peek there as Cosmostar spots one, still pushing out towards the outer train yard. A lot of action. Atlanta's going to pick up one to kick things off. 742 answering back. And they're playing, utilizing those USPs, playing a little bit long distance here. We've got a battle over here towards the Ivy way. Headshot there by Atlantis, helping out his teammate. He's going to try to slide in and pick up another one, pick up his third here in the round. As Cuban, nice shot, or a nice little HE grenade landing there right at the feet. As see if Cuban can pick up another one. That's his second so far, and he'll get shut down there by Drizzer. And so now, again, the score's going to be 1-0, but Atlantis picking up 2 there, helping out his teammate. I'll probably butcher the team for E2G. Give me a quick roster rundown for these guys.
E2G, that is Cosmo, Atlantis, Drizzer, Kyoshimax. I don't know about these guys, and the last guy is MSHZ. The names I really know in this team is Cosmo, Atlantis, and Drizzer. I played against some of them before, but the most common, I mean, the most known name in their team is Ostriker, but he's unfortunately playing today. So I would definitely say, obviously, with Ostriker, he's the underdog, but this time even more so. But obviously, winning the pistol round helps them out loads.
All right, so right now we've got Neo, who's heading. He's got his teammates right there. They've helped him out there, but they're already going to be. No one's been taken out at the moment, but Neo's down to 8 HP, Cuban down to 70 HP. Looks like Pasha's going to try to cause something out there to the outer train yard. He's going to get picked off there by Atlantis. Nice little M4 headshot. Of course, this is a save round. Yeah. And Drizzer, he's going to pick, trying to pick up one here with the FAMAS, but he gets head dinked down to 60 HP. And it looks like he's going to have to fall back there, but the bomb will get planted there in the inner bomb site. There's still going to be the main objective has been picked up there. Just getting that bomb down is so huge here. As right now, Lord, he's going to get taken down here. Just going to get picked off one by one. Now it comes in the easy defuse. But again, they did get the bomb down here in the second round, but the score will be 2-0 here in favor of E2G.
Yeah, but by getting that bomb planted down, utilizing the smoke, and somehow managed to get the kill off the guy on the bomb, the free train with USB, they managed to get $800 more going into the next round, and they have the best spawns possible now. We're gonna see a classic pole rush, I'm pretty sure, running out the yard with AKs, utilizing the great movement they have. The poles are really, really famous for the great movement, so I'm not surprised if we're gonna jump out straight here to the yard on the 5 train.
Yeah, you see he tossed out I believe it was either a smoke or a flash out there towards the outer train yard. So we take a look here around and see where all the where they're grouped up. They actually got a lot more action over there towards the inner side. You got Pasha spamming through those in the white halls. See if we get anything to connect there. Drizzer and that back train yard again. We're just taking a look here. They're taking their time here. Looks like they're going to be hitting here towards that inner bomb site. Bomb is going to be carried here by Pasha.
I'm just a little bit worried they don't have enough grenades attacking bomb site B, but somehow it seems like the E2G has 2 snipers ready. I mean, this is going to be really tough for the poles. They wasted a lot of grenades early, faking a yard split with the best bomb they had. In my opinion, they should have rushed it, but if they execute this well, getting the first AK headshot, they still have a chance to get the bomb planted.
That's going to be the big point right here, is they've already tossed out their first smokes. Take a look here. It looks like they may have, they're still not making an effort. Finally now going to be able to push there towards the lower side. Drizz going to connect there into Pasha with that FAMAS, as right now Cuban having a little bit of an issue there trying to pick up that kill, but Neo finally helping out there. Drizzer's still alive. Cosmo is going to wrap back around and pick up one with the op headshot, still trying to creep through those cracks there in the front side of the train yard. As Cuban picks up one with the AK, now it's going to be down to a 3-on-3 as Lord takes down Atlantis with the AK. As we switch back over here to Neo. Neo on the backside of this train yard. He spots one. Looks like Neo chasing, but Kyoshim is going to be right there. Kyoshi picks up one. As now Cosmo is going to be working back around here. He's going to be down to a 1v2. Going up against Lord and Cuban. They're both wrapping around here. Let's take a look there. As Cosmo's going to get taken down by Cuban. They did a great job. They split it up, so one of them is going to be able to pick him off from the other side, making it extremely difficult to pick up two, especially with that AWP. But now the score is going to be 2-1. It may have not been the most pretty way of executing the strat, but in the end it paid off.
It did. What I'm a bit surprised that the French team did too. They had the position on the yard. They should have even went more aggressive to be able to spot that there was actually inner rush coming up, inner pop up with smokes. Instead, they had the standard setup: 3 guys in the yard, 2 in inner. Sometimes I think it's better to rotate 3 to the inner, because the backup is actually way more easy towards the yard, bomb site A, rather than bomb site B. Because you saw Neo, he came out huge there, attacking aggressively. killing off guys, which means that the double sniper the French team had didn't have anything to do really, because the enemy just come too close to them.
So right now, looks like E2G is going to be on a save. You got a kind of a mixed buy here. You got Kyushi, who's got a Deagle there over towards the Ivyway, but for the most part, they all have USPs to work with there. Neo's going to get head dinked by that USB. It's going to drop him down to 20 HP. As you can see, they were going to try to exchange between the weapons there, between the AK and the Glow. He's going to get dropped there. So Cosmo will be able to finish off Neo there in that save round. But in the end, of course, ESC is going to clean the slate there. Now the score is going to be 2-2, all tied up right here on Train.
Yeah, it's really pity for E2G that they lost so many weapons to the Glock. I think they lost two CTs to them, and that meant they couldn't buy the third round when that came up. And now they're definitely invited to the polls to the match again. We see a quick round coming up, I think.
Oh, Cosmo with an early pick there with the Famasi decided to push up there towards the inner bomb site and picked him up one there inside of the halls. That was Neo who got taken out. He's sitting at 2-5 right now, as we're here in the early stages here in this first half. Pasha, he's got the AWP there towards the inside, but look at this Drizzer in the inner train yard, watching that upper highway, watching the upper side of the inner bomb site. And so right now it looks like they're starting to commit there towards that inner side. As we take a look here, see where they're all at. They've got all 4 members here for ESC, but look, they've got 3 on the outside and 2 on the inside. They're for E2G.
Same mistake as the day before.
See if they're going to be able to execute this strat here. You got Drizzy who wraps back, trying to get on the outside of that smoke. Connects there into Pasha as his AWP proves to be stronger here. And now Cuban trying to figure out something here. He's going to have to still try to stay alive here as Kyoshi picks up 2 at the M4, and Cuban goes down, and they just get picked apart one by one there as they enter in towards that bomb site. Great execution there by E2G, just maneuvering around again. Drizzer working on the outside of that smoke there with that smoked up the highway and hopped up onto the 1 train and picked up that kill.
Yeah, I think that kind of attack would have worked if there were 5 of them, but obviously one of them went down early to the guy in the inner. So the guy holding the inner bomb site, he's doing his job right now. Obviously they lost 1 attack there, but he has done his job by far. He's been killing the first frag, and that's kind of opening up and enabling faster rotation from the CTs.
Nice shot there by Neo up on top of the ladder train, but Atlantis does get that early pick. Also connects there with that HE grenade, taking down Cuban. And MSHZ with that AK is now it's going to be left up to Neo and Pasha. Pasha still has the bomb here. Let's go and take a look where he's at. He's right there inside of mid. He's going to get spammed there through the Z connector, and Atlantis picks up 4, 3 of them coming from the AWP and 1 from an HE that just happened to touch base. But so now the score is going to be 4-2. And where's ESC looking in their money system right now?
I think we're talking about around 2K. Funny fact about the last round. We rarely see the AWP in the tower. This time Atlantis used that position and kind of successfully. You rarely expect to have an AWP against you there.
As right now looks like they're going to be heading there towards the inner side. Drizzer is going to fall back here, even though they are on a Glock save. As we take a look here back, you can see they're starting to be able to push in here. Now we're back over there with Drizzer. Drizzer connects there into Neo. Still again the objective, just trying to get the bomb down here. Drizzer missing. Cosmo's going to help out as well, as bomb will get planted there. MSHZ picks up 1 there. Looks like one of them's trying to make his move away there, just kind of delaying some time, and now here comes the defuse. Successful in the intent that they got the bomb down, and so now the score is going to be 5-2 overall here in favor of E2G.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised and actually a bit annoyed that the French team hasn't done their lesson. They don't seem to understand the money system fully. They would expect a Glock Echo there. Everybody would among the professional teams. And then when you expect a Glock Echo, you should have 1 Colt player or AK player aggressive in bomb site B. Because if the sniper missed the bomb, they're gonna get the bomb planted for sure. And
right.
Playing so defensively, it's just a simple way of getting away $800.
And so in this round, Drizzer's going to play aggressive here inside of the upper bomb side. Let's go ahead and take a look here where the real action is going to be happening. It looks like they've got a split going here towards the outer train yard. MSHC picking up 1. Spamming is going to be 7-4-2, finally taking him down. Atlantis wraps back around over there through the Z halls, picking up 1. Neo getting dropped there. Just again, his ladder train has been so effective, but finally he's going to get taken out there by Cosmo. As we look now, it's going to be down to a 3, make that a 2-on-2 as Lord and 7-4-2 here for ESC Gaming. And then you've got for E2G, you got Atlantis and Drizzer, but Atlantis has been so effective with that AWP. But one of the things to take in consideration, both Atlantis and Drizzer both have ops to work with here as a bomb gets planted, and there's going to be one to connect. They know exactly where the second one is there in the backside, there in that 5-hole. He hops up on top of the ladder, or to the 5 train out in the open as they've got those little battle going on, but he still has his teammate Drizzer to wrap back around, and the Deagle will connect, taking him down, and this is going to be a quick defuse here for Drizzer, and now the score is going to be 6-2 here in favor of the Counter-Terrors here for E2G.
Cuba works for the poster, lost the pistol round, managed to sneak in with 2 rounds. They probably feel fine now. They get the bomb plant. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a low buy going to the bomb site B, 5 of them straight away and getting the bomb plant again and trying to win a bomb plant situation. And yeah, they played double sniper in the 2-on-2 situation, and you can actually get away in that in that current situation. They had kind of long distance duels, and
valid.
Obviously they need, when they get the bomb planted, they know that they cannot really stay on the bomb, right? Because they will get killed eventually. So they had to spread out and make themselves visible for the guy in the pop.
I think one of the very successful things that happened during that round, again utilizing those ops, is that they had Drizzer wrap through the CT spawn area, and that basically kind of split up, changed the direction up a little bit. That way they could clear the area out a lot. You mentioned that the fact that with the op there's a lot of long gunfights that go on, and again the op is still effective at that point. So again, you brought up a really good point there. As we take a look here, you can see ESC trying to stack there. They had tried to do a 3-man stack just to get a little peek there, but spamming is going to be one of them there from E2G. As we take a look there, that's going to be Kiyoshi. And he's going to go and continue spam. He's going to get taken down by Cuban. Here comes Atlantis picking up one as he's trying to get a nice little pop here with that AWP, but he's got some teammates to help him out there. That's going to be Cosmo. And now Neo from that 5 train in the outer side. And they're going to go back and forth. Neo taking down MSHZ. And Atlantis finishing things off. But we look at the scoreboard right now. You've got Drizzer sitting at 11-2, Atlantis at 11-3. You had mentioned in the beginning of the pregame that this map is pretty much counter-terrorist side, and right now it's proven evident, especially the way that E2G is taking control here. They picked up the pistol rounds early, but now the score is 7-2.
Yeah, but still I think the most round, obviously not the previous one, but the most round are kind of intense. The bomb usually gets down and it's down to 2-on-2 situation, etc. So.
Right. And Kiyoshi's going to change his position. This time he's going to play towards the inner side, and Lord and Cuban picking up both of them. Both the M4 stars there, Cosmo and Kiyoshi, were watching the inner side. Bomb will get planted here. MSHZ is picked up in AWP, connects there into Lord now. As he's going to continue to try to wrap back around, he's going to get taken down there by Pasha. Pasha spots one, spams that a little, finishes him off, and now the score is going to be 7-3. Again, they changed up the tune there for E2G. They have had Drizzer and Cosmo watching that inner bomb site, one with an op, one with an M4, but they changed things up there. Kiyoshi watched it with Cosmo, both with M4s. What do you think about that?
Yeah, not a bad idea at all. As long as you have prepared setup, so you have something to fall back on. And as soon as you get spotted, if you have aggressive setup with 2 Colts, you should rotate one sniper to that bomb site. Just keep the rotation going and make sure that they cannot predict where the snipers are currently positioning in, because that makes things so much easier for terrorists.
And so right now you got to MSHZ picking up one there with that op. Nice little long-range shot there into Neo. And Kiyoshi pushes out, and he spots one there inside of mid, the T-side mid, taking down Cuban, but 7-4T has already made his way up into that sniper's nest up to heaven. And see if he can pick some off there, but Cosmo has had enough. Lofted an HE grenade there, finishing him off. Now it's going to be down to a 2-on-4 here with Pasha and Lord. Pasha is already down there towards the that lower ramp in the inner bomb site. Let's go and figure out where Lord is. He's already way pushed up, so he had some cover fire there. Pasha's giving cover fire there for Lord. Now the bomb is going to try to get planted here towards the inner side.
Yeah, he did everything right there. He didn't decide to put the bomb down because they know it's 4-on-2 situation is really hard. Instead, they're just going to wait the rotating French because they felt like, yeah, why are we 4 on the yard? Where is the guy holding B? And they were obviously Lord waiting for them. Well,
they definitely had a lot of time to work with there too as well. But right there you got Pasha just kind of wrapping back around. He has an idea where one of them's at. Nice little headshot with the AWP. And now he's going to be at that back train yard. It's going to be down to a one-on-one. 17 seconds left here in the round. Let's go take a look there. Atlantis connects there with that op, taking down Pasha. He didn't try to hightail it either. He was ready for the gunfight. Finishes them off 8-3 now. And they've got a 5-round lead here over ESC as E2G picking up some kills and executing quite well.
Right. The only thing that the Poles need to do now, obviously, get more rounds, but it's really tricky now. The money system is not really favoring them either, so they need to get more than 3 rounds, because otherwise they're really depending on the pistol round coming up when switching to CT. So.
Oh, for sure. And right there, this is going to be a quick round, save round here for ESC as they push here towards that inner bomb site and get dropped one by one. Now it's going to be left up to Pasha. Pasha does not have the bomb, but he's actually made his way over there through the Z halls. See if he can be able to pick up at least one little quick kill here. That's not going to happen as they know that he's not in that region, and finally just kind of checks their 6, takes him down.
They're 10 seconds too later, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, that too. That probably helps. So 9-3 now is the score. 6-round lead here in favor of E2G here on the counter-terror side right here on train. And from what I recall, E2G didn't win their matchup or in the group play, have they yet? No,
they haven't. This is their potentially first win in the. It's only the second match day for these guys. So
right.
It's still kind of early.
So 742's pushing out there. There's a smoke right there in front, but 742 connects there into Kyushi. As Neo takes down one, Drizzer pushes over there through the ladder. And there inside the ladder room picks up one as it looks like we had a pause at some point during the game earlier.
Yeah, so the classic HTTP bug, you have to wait a bit to get it back, so sorry about that.
But again, as we look at it right now, this is actually a pretty successful round here for ESC as E2G is down to 2 members. You've got, for ESC, they've got 4 as of right now, Cuban, Pasha, 742, and Lord. They've made their way towards the outer train yard, so that kind of tells you kind of developing story of where they're at. But again, you had mentioned there, Karn, that they need to pick up more than 3 rounds, and that's for a fact.
Yeah, 5 rounds should. I think the Poles are probably one of the best CT teams on train. So if they have 5 rounds, I'm pretty positive that they're gonna win this. But this was actually the first time they were utilizing the best spawn they had. Usually just faking a rush, but this time they went for it, which worked.
Alright, so we're back into the action. Cosmo trying to even things back up there, but he's going to get taken down by Pasha. Now it's going to be down to a 1-on-3. And you saw they were checking. That's Pasha checking over towards the ladder side because that's where Neo got taken down earlier in the round. So now Drizzer going to be wrapping back over here towards the Z Hall, checking the heaven area. And he's getting picked off there by Lord. And so now the score going to be 9-4 as they finally pick up a round here. Much needed round.
Definitely. I know many people will say that Drizzy should have went for save there, but considering the amount of money the French team should have by now, we even saw, I think it was Cosmo the other round, he used Famas, which is a sign that, yeah, he's playing a very economical game, so I would expect him to have around 10k now, which means 2 more rounds, they have no problem whatsoever to buy the remaining rounds. So he should have, even if it was a more or less an impossible round to win, he went for it, and I like that move.
Here we got another little game pinning here, still waiting. We saw Kiyoshi had to reconnect. Maybe we might have had another issue later on down the road here. And now we're back into the game here, taking a look. You got Kiyoshi, who's that really screwed up his money system, as he's gonna have to. He's got a deagle in hand, but that also proves how bad everything is for these guys, especially whenever their teammates can't even buy for them. As right now they're just getting picked off. Cuban picked up 2 with the AK. Neo picking up 1 as well. MSHC has got an op. Now he's going to be down to 1v4. They know exactly where he's at. Nice little pick there into Lord. As let's see if he can kind of continue here. Nice little shot there into Pasha. He's trying to even things down to a 1-on-1. As right now Cuban looks like he is the one that lagged out there. Yeah, so that's where he's going to get dropped out there. So now the score is going to be 9-5. Even though Cuban was kind of lagged out in that round, they still pick up the round 9-5 now.
Oh yeah, as I predicted earlier that they're gonna have enough money to buy the remaining rounds. That seemed to not be the case, which surprised me a lot. They had like 6 rounds in a row.
We have a quick little glitch here. You can see E2G picked up a bunch of deagle headshots, probably 2 deagle headshots, and now it's gonna be down to a 2 on 5. So a quick little glitch there that happened. You can see what's going down here is again we got Neo in 7-4-2. Now they're going to be pushing back around. Cosmos going to be flanking there. They're going to sandwich down here on this bomb site. But 7-4-2 is wrapped around. He's going to pick up one. Now that all 4 members know exactly where he's at, sprays down one more. And he peeks back up there, but Atlantis will be able to shut him down. So 10-5 is going to be your first half score right here for E2G in ESC. As I'll go ahead and get this defused here right here on DE Train.
Yeah, they got 33% of the round. I think considering the fact they didn't get the pistol round, they should be rather happy with that.
Yeah, so again, we've got this game, the way everything's been going so far. E2G, they again, although they picked up those rounds that really did matter. Looking at it, I think that they probably could have made some really good things happen here. You know, they could have been a little bit smarter in a sense whenever they were buying. I think their buying was just a little bit frugalist for the most part. Whenever they're sitting there buying Ops and Deagles every single time, every single set.
Yeah, and they have to pay the bill for that later on. And with Deagle, it worked this time, but still, strategically, it's not the best move they did there.
Right, no, for sure. I think it made a great impact on them for the most part. Going through it again, the first game that we had watched, or that these teams E2G had faced off there, they ended up losing. But let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here. Again, more Fnatic Counter-Strike League coming up here in just a moment. We got Karn who's joined us. You know, he's hopped on here, giving us some great expert advice, and we'll be right back here in just a moment here from Own3D.tv here from the Fnatic TV. We'll be right back here. Oh, that probably helps. Now they probably just heard you the whole time. Yeah, so right now we've got that's 5 rounds to 1 here in the second half here in favor of ESC. So that brings us at a current score of 11 to 10 here now in favor of E2G. So they've narrowed down this lead. Again, ESC, they've decided to well, it's all what E2G's done wrong at this point. ESC has just been playing some solid defense for the most part. They've collapsed on the bomb sites. They've transferred at the right times, and they've made the shots that count. Yeah, so right there. Now we're all going to be tied up here, 11 to 11 here. Here with ESC and E2G. That was just a quick response to getting back into this game here for ESC. And again, I think at this point you've had 6 rounds in a row there that you've seen ESC start to get into their groove. This has allowed them to start to make their shots. Now their money is solid where it's been, because if you look at it, the max deaths that they've had in these past 7 rounds is 3 per player. Pasha has went out there for a pick there and trying to make something happen there. Almost connected there into the Ivy. 2 nades come in. That's going to drop him down to 85 HP. So just kind of a sliver of damage. Nothing too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the overall setup here for the terrorist side. You've got a 2-1-2 split. Got 2 guys over there towards the ladder room. Neo is going to be spamming over there towards the ladder room area through that wall. And so let's go ahead and hop back into the action and figure out where everything's happening here. You've got the bomb carrier. That's going to be MSHZ, who was over there before, was inside the middle area. He spots one, so now he knows that he's up on top of the 6 train. He peeks back out there. Nice little flashbang that popped there, pop flash there by Neo, picking up one. But Pasha going to connect there into Kiyoshi. But Drizzer finally at least got the exchange and picking up one there with the AK. But look at you got to be on the lookout now. They're going to start playing a little bit aggressive here. That was Neo. As Neo exchanged for that AWP that he's got here, he's hard scoped in. He's going to get picked off there by Cosmo, who pops out there. And so now it's going to be down to a 3-on-3. As we look at it, 742, Cuban and Lord. They're going to be going up against Drizzer, Atlantis, and Cosmo. Oh, it's a valid point there. He's going to have to be able to bounce out. The time is just, they took way too much time, especially they didn't even really make an effort to get a pick. They were more or less just kind of spotting throughout that whole process there. I'll have to look here and see. We've got audio here.
Everything is really going in their way right now. I don't see the French team is making a comeback from here, knowing that they're going to play with a stand-in. But with a couple of entry frags, they might be able to get a couple of rounds more. But in general, like the consistency of ESC is just amazing. This map, CT especially.
I apologize for those of you that all the viewers out there. You know, I took the time to actually mute the in-game stuff and my mic, so you didn't have any heavy breathing and all that other stuff. So now we're all set, I know for a fact. But let's go ahead again. The score right now, 7-1 here in the second half. Overall, we're sitting at 12-11 as ESC is just kind of proven why they've been so successful here in the recent time frame, as 742 pushes up, taking down MSHZ. Nice little push up there, but Cosmo will be able to pick him off there with that AWP. As now looks like they're going to start to be able to push here and towards this inner bomb site.
We see a big difference in the rotation here compared to E2G. By the time E2G attacked, there were almost 3 guys there already defending here. And that's why they managed to do that, is because they are so aggressive in the yard. They used the heavy explosive over the roof, so you can hear how many opponents there are over the pop towards B. And they're keeping down alley in a way that they cannot really attack from there. So that's why the Poles are 3 defenders there, and that's so easy to defend when they are coming in with smokes.
Especially, we'll take a look here at the setup that you're talking about, because that's an extremely valid point on how quick they're able to rotate and everything like that. So if you look at it right now, you've got this is going to probably be a Deagle save round coming in here. Cuban picking up one. We'll look at that here in the actual gun rounds that come up here. But Cosmo He's going to be there joined by his teammate. 7-4-2 picking up one there with that from M4. As he will get taken out by Cosmo, as Cosmo has done some pretty successful things here in these eco rounds, just picking up at least 1 kill per round. It takes a gun away, but with
but it's not enough at this point.
Exactly. As many rounds that have happened, it's not going to make an impact. You're sitting there saying 3,000. 3,000 per round, 3,000 plus per round that ESC is acquiring from winning these rounds, and then from that point on, I mean, they're really not having to buy much because, again, it goes back to the fact that in these past 10 rounds, the most deaths so far is 5 here for ESC. So, and the member that's been dying only has to buy an M4. So again, they're completely set for the most part here. As again, we can kind of take a look here at the defense setup. You can see Lord is already up inside of Heaven. Pasha push up there. The only difference this round though is Neo is not playing close up there onto the ladder. Kiyoshi picking up 2 there with the AK. He's been dropped down to 8 HP. As Pasha is again over there towards the Ivy. Now they're going to have to rotate back around over towards the Z-Hawk. Cuban getting picked off there by Drizzer. And they're just getting dropped here. And 7-4-2 with the M4. Able to pick up 1, trying to peek out with that M4. And now here comes the flashbang. It's going to allow them enough time to be able to get that bomb planted. And you can see how dazed and confused he is as he gets trapped in his own corner. And he'll get picked off flashed. As... there comes the first round in a long time here, Karn, here for E2G. So that's going to put us at a score of 12 to 14. 2 rounds away here for ESC right here on Train.
Yeah, and if they're going to lose this round, it's going to be devastating for them and their money situation. We even see one player with the Galil, and that's not a good sign generally.
Oh, wow, MSHC, we didn't see it from him really that much there on the terrace side with that AWP. But this round he's picked up 2, and now it's going to be down to a 3-on-3 as we got Drizzer, Kiyoshi, and again MSHZ here for E2G as they're working here on those ladders.
I like how they're doing now. They knew that the rotation is coming towards B because the last kill happened there, and then they just rushed down the ladder and attack the autobomb site. Not sure if they didn't follow up with the tempo they just had. They rushed out, but then they just stopped. They shouldn't have done that. If you just attack faster or hitting the sniper shots like they're doing right now, that could generate a round win. But it's still not set in stone at all here.
Well, so far you've got 3 op kills coming in here for MSHC, and finally Kiyoshi's going to help out here in the action. Now it's going to be down to a 2-on-1. 7-4-2's last man standing here. As he's headed over here towards the Z-Hall, he's going to wrap back around. Peeks out on the bomb planter. He's going to get shut down before he gets that bomb down. 30 seconds left in the round now. It's going to be down to MSHZ, who's picked up 3 so far here in this round. He's going to go ahead and try to get this bomb planted. He has to be on the know that he's going to be pushing that through the Z. He's going to fall back over towards the 5-hole, as that's pretty typical for the most part, but he makes it back towards the other side of the train. You can see 7-4-2 just kind of wrapping back around. He's got a lot of time where it picks him off there, and that's going to be able to finish off this round. Now the score is going to be at 15 to 12. Game point coming in here for ESC.
Yeah, several of them as well. Yeah, they got the bomb planted, but still I don't see them coming into the 13th round with a lot of money now, the French team. They will not have the sniper. They're going to have to depend on Deagles, Galils, and maybe 1 or 2 AKs. It's going to be interesting to see, but really uphill battle for them now. And you know, the Poles, they have all the money in the world at this point, and they will have money throughout the match.
Yeah, so they're really going to have to pull off something here that's going to be really strong. Again, you got ESC. Actually, MSHZ was able to buy an op for this round. Kind of curious, or someone bought an op for him. Kiyoshi's got an op as well, so there must have been some mixed buys. They probably were made sure that they had enough for this round, especially to have the ability to buy 2 ops in this round. That's impressive to me, looking at it. And Drizzer has an op as well. So they've got 3 ops right now.
Yeah, I think I just stopped calling the money situation. These guys, it's not easy to call at all. You never expect how much money they can have or not. Now you see them with a handful of snipers. Not quite sure it's going to be enough.
Wow. And right now, let's go and get back into the action. We got down to a 1-on-1, 32 HP here for Cosmo. He's trying to keep his team alive. Again, it's game point here for ESC. Cuban's hard scoped in. He's just watching, waiting for somebody to push in there towards that bomb site and get that bomb planted. As Cosmo has pushed up on top of the ladder train, and he's able to connect there with that deal. Took 3 bullets, but is able to finish him off there, taking down Cuban. A great job by Cosmo. He knew where he was at, and Cuban, so much time had passed that he didn't really have a good idea of where he was going to be at that point. But Cosmo played aggressive, and trying to make something happen there. So again, E2G trying to stay alive as the score is 13-15. Still game point here for ESC.
Yeah, I see some kind of fake towards the yard. Same time, 4 French players are attacking the bomb site B. When the fake guy goes down, as he did now, it's going to be really hard for them. They need to stick up the tempo. I mean, they need to attack right now, but they're not.
Well, that's one of the things that they've really struggled on for the most part is their tempo. Their pacing has just really been very passive, way too slow. In the sense, as you watch now, 7-4-2 picking up 1 there with the M4. They need to really get some really good exchanges here as well, as they're already down to a 2-on-4. Cosmo now it's going to be down to a 2-on-3 as Cosmo starts to push out there. Kiyoshi out in the open. Now it's going to be left up to Cosmo now. Down to a 1-on-3. He's got the bomb, a lot of time to work with here. But they're going to start to be able to wrap back around. I believe Lord spotted him now. They know exactly where he's at. You can see the spam there by 7-4-2 there into that ladder room. And Lord leaping and finishing him off. That's going to finish off the game. 16-13 is going to be your final score here in favor of ESC.
Yeah, I mean, they really had to win the pistol round, I think, the French team, if they were ever to have a chance here, because the CT side for the S Gaming, they are just too good. They're just too good. They got too much experience. They know the rotation. They know how to hit the early sniper shots. And Neo is just amazing holding down the ladder room, getting them so much information. So every time they're attacking bomb site B, they're going to be 3 persons there defending.
All right, so again, we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, XSplits, Azo, Raid Call, and Steel Series for making all these things possible and everything going on here. Again, make sure that you can kind of follow up on the action over there at hltv.org. As you take a look there, we can see I haven't updated these brackets yet, but this will soon be updated with the fact that we had E2G losing another round there. So ESC now they're going to be 1-1. They're in Group A. So again, Karn, looking at that matchup, what kind of went wrong there for E2G, especially in the second half?
Inexperience, I guess, and I mean, obviously their skill as well. You know, the Poles, they have some of the best players in their lineup: Neo, Taz, backup players in Kuban, Lord, an amazing sniper in Pasha. You need to have a really, really good day playing such a team. If you are E2G, you need to win both pistol rounds. You need to win both 4th round. They didn't do all of that I'm talking about right now, and that's kind of was the nail in the coffin eventually. But I have to kind of admire them for the nice sniping play they were keeping up with. Especially Cosmo, I think, did some really crazy shots.
Yeah, one thing's for sure is you got to give. You know, it's funny for me is that I can remember every single one of the players from ESC, and that just goes to show how long they've been a part of just this. I would say this gaming industry. I mean, they've been in the league, they've been in Counter-Strike for so long, they've been in this community. So it kind of just shows how you know that they've been around the block for the most part. So. So we'll be right back here. We've got what's our next matchup that we have to look forward to here, Karn?
Well, actually, we got some kind of bad news, I guess.
Well,
first of all, we're going to have Lemon Dogs and Wikipedias playing against each other. But then Navi, I think they have actually cancelled on this match today. And more information coming up about that. So it's one more game coming up from Group A today. It's going to be Lemon Dog, the Swedish team, playing the Danish team, Wikipedias, led by Arcadian. So that's going to be interesting. And I'm curious to see which map they're going to play on. I'm going to check that right now. Let me see. Yeah, it's going to be Tuscan.
Yeah, so again,
you know that map, Corey?
Oh, I definitely know that map. Hey, I haven't been out of it for that long. I utilize the fact that that I've been out of this scene for a little bit, but when in fact I've actually been watching a lot of Counter-Strike in the past 2 years. So I would just say the international scene for me is kind of not as what it used to be. You know, from whenever I was actually at my highest level there in 2006, 2007, I knew everything about Counter-Strike at that point. But now I'm not going to play like I know everything that's going on.
No one does. It's fine. But yeah, as you said, back in the days, maybe 2006, 2007, you saw better teams from Asia and America making the scene a bit more global. Right. With more interesting matchups. You see the best American teams playing the Europeans, but these days, you know, it's all changed. Now we see a good Russian team, Ukraine team, obviously, but besides that, Scandinavia, Germany, we are, or they are, we are, I don't know, but we are kind of the teams to look at, obviously. All the teams are from that region. I'm not sure why it is like that, but I guess it's other games coming up. People lose interest when the performance goes down, and it's also depending on the focus on those companies that's running those gaming teams in America and Asia. So it's a bit unfortunate, but still, even 2012, around 12, 13 years after the game was published, we still can make. I mean, the games we're watching today, Dan, they are like the best games that ever been played. You can obviously say there has been more interesting games rather than the Fnatic Counter-Strike League, but the players today, they have reached such an amazing skill, such an amazing team play. They know the maps inside out, and you have so many tricks today that you didn't have only a few years ago, actually. So things changing constantly, and it's just amazing to be part of it and see how the game develops, even it's such an old game.
One of the cool things, though, I have to say is that I've had my chance to actually experience a bunch of other gaming communities. Don't dog on me right now, but like the Halo community, I've had the chance to sit there and talk to. I've had this Call of Duty, all with the sticks. And I've talked with the Call of Duty community that also is on the consoles and stuff like that. But one of the things that I want to say out of this is that they still pay homage to Counter-Strike and what the scene has brought, and they understand, even at their younger age, even at their 16, 17 years old, that they understand that Counter-Strike had paved the way for them in a team-based first-person shooter industry. I mean, it really does prove and show what has happened for this game. I mean, and for me too as well. I give a lot back to this game as well from what I've gotten through the past and all that stuff. Exactly.
Yeah, as you said, like CS is obviously the pioneer of gaming. You can say that Quake back in the days were a bit like, that's when it becomes
I'll give it to you,
professional and competitive. But CS, since actually pretty much the year after it went live, we've seen tournaments around the world. Tens of millions of players. It has its peak, I would say 2005, 2006 in terms of amount of players.
Right.
But skill-wise, it's still developing. The scene is still around. The community is boiling. It's so many good, skillful players out there. And yeah, a lot of other titles, a lot of other communities trying to take a lot of credit what esport is today. But to be honest, it started with Counter-Strike, and the rest just come as a synergy effect after that. I mean, we have had huge impact in this business.
Yeah, no. So let's go ahead and since we have the ability to right now, so that final score there for the matchup there between ESC and E2G was 16-13. And again, I apologize. What's the next matchup that we have again?
The Swedish team Lemodogs. Previously, they were Lions, obviously, and Wikipedia. It's kind of I wouldn't say a mixed team, but they don't really have an organization right now. We have I wouldn't say notorious players, but Kulon, amazing sniper. He has been really good recently, even at the Copenhagen Games. No one expecting him to play good there. Still, he went there and getting more frags than the other EWP players, I would say, even that they didn't reach the finals. Arcadion and Trace, another good, great Danish players. Trace, probably top 4, top 3 in the world. Just got removed / kicked / whatever from SK.
Control X.
Playing with his Control X. Playing with its own country's people. It's probably favoring it a bit rather than playing with Swedes.
All right. So
what about the small break now? I need.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. One of the things that I want to say too, though, is I'm broadcasting. I'm here from Dallas, Texas, here in the U.S. You're in Taiwan, correct? Am I right?
Yeah, Taipei.
You're in Taipei, Taiwan right now, and that right there just goes to show you how unique this whole world is. So we'll take a quick break right here for more Fnatic Counter-Strike League. You got some more Counter-Strike 1.6.